Yo, 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 yo. It's your boy Professor Pippin again. Coming back at you another weekly review. Um, so far for my charts this week, I've gone ahead and marked everything up that I want to look at. Right now, sitting on 7 pairs, seven, and then we have a watch list of some other pairs, gold, Bitcoin, Ethereum, some other ones I've been looking at. Kind of on the back burner right now, but for the most part, I'm gonna run through DXY, GJ, GU, AU, CAD, JPY, USD, JPY, and USD CAD. So coming from last week analysis, as we can see, markets clearly in the uptrend, making higher highs and higher lows. We had the weekly open back on the 12th. Market came up and gave you a high, came down, retested the lows, and then continued back in bullish formation. Looking at these charts and just analyzing before the market's open. I got some notes placed out right here. I would like to see a retest from this big bullish move. Definitely would not buy this market. As we can see, it's already extended. And from this point all the way up to here, it's already kicked out. Yeah, why? 46 pips. Yeah. So definitely wouldn't buy on that big impulse. I would definitely wait for a retest. This is the 4-hour chart. So what I'm looking for, what I got right here is if price action doesn't stall out around the 92,950 level, then it can retest all the way down to 92,800. Basically, what I'm looking for is for price action to retest. If you jump down to the 1 hour, you probably see a little bit better. And this will be 92,500. Where are we at? 92,950. Okay, so yeah, looking for a retest, potentially all the way back down to this level, which looks like it's probably about 50% of this initial move right here. And then take the buys from this 92,950 level. Or, if this level, this breakout level doesn't hold, we'll possibly come all the way back down to 92,800, 92,850, and then look for buys from that level. With this market being bullish, I wouldn't necessarily chase the sales because, like I said, it is bullish and what we should be looking for is buy. So definitely want to just wait to see how price action opens up. We have a little small retest level here that hasn't been tested, and then this level up top and back to the 1 hour, you can see it a lot better. Just places in the past where price action pulled back to and picked up some strength from and pushed and made new highs, and also we came down and stopped that and broke away from, giving you new lows. So definitely want to see how price action reacts around that level. Sitting about 93,300, 93,350. And then the next level behind that one is about 93,500 to 93,550. So if you in buys already, potential targets at those levels. If not, simply just looking for a possible retest back down into these levels and then take it up higher. Over to GJ. Back to the 4 hour. So based off of last week's price action, we opened up bullish, retested the structural highs back looking left, gave you a weekly high, then just melted all the way back down to 150,800 levels. Breaking structure looking left. I was in on this 50% retest trade, looking for a breakout here. I also was in here thinking this was going to be our move, but lower time frame, I got stopped out here and came back all the way down to retest this bottom of the channel, or this range right here, and then kicked up to that 50% retest level. So what I got here is potential lower high created on the weekly chart. Last week price action opened bullish, then crash breaking structural looking left, potential lower high created on the 4-inch chart, which is right here. Possible shorts from 151 to 500. So looking for a retrace of this big impulse move back up to where we got 151, 517 outline right here, potentially take sales back down into this low, or if price action comes down, retest this level at 150,800, potentially carried on down to these lows down here. Price action sentiment momentum is currently bearish, indicated by these big candles over here, and how you got a high and potential lower high right here. This lower high is not confirmed yet because we don't see any new lower lows, but if it happens, then there you go. Jumping over to GU pretty much the same structure as GJ. We had the weekly open back over here, came out, gave us our weekly highs, and then just melted. Looking for a 50% retest trade on this one as well. You see price action correct this big impulse move coming back into this to the zone I got outlined here. I got here looking for a bearish close below 37,257 to confirm continuation shorts. And that level is basically right here where this red line is. And I basically got that off the weekly, just looking at closures and seeing where price action stopped. Possible retest entry between the 700 and the 850 levels, which I got outlined here. And that's pretty much what I'll be waiting for on DU. When you go down to the smaller time frames, you're able to see some of these zones and some of these levels of where price pushed up, stopped, pushed up again, came back and stopped. So definitely we're looking for a retest back to this level. This level doesn't hold back into here before it drops again. So like I said, you got that weekly high and price action just melted. Pushing over to AU. 4 hour. Looking at this price action completely bearish from the higher time frame, looking down. Bullish continuation zones up top, bearish continuation zones down at the bottom at 71,100 level. Yeah, price action here is completely making lower lows and lower highs. As you can see, you got a high right here, lower high, lower high, lower high, lower high. So that trend is obviously it's going to be bearish until you see price action break above, these highs and start aiming for some of the highs above it. Looking at the higher time frame, just looking at this big impulse bear, looking at this big bullish move to the upside, creating those new highs, we're sitting at about 50% of that retracement. So this one potentially could be tricky because we could pull back down into this 70 level and the fib level and then retest and start back pushing into the highs. But since price action is already bearish and market is stepping down, I'm going to continue to look for the shorts until price action proves otherwise. With price action closing below this level of 72,700, 750 level, I would look for price to continue to push down to this reaction level down at 72,300, 72,350 before pushing back up the retest structure just broke out from and then creating new lows. Within this range right here, you're looking at about 40 pips and then a continuation on down 102 pips. So definitely have plenty of opportunity to get into this market and act up on it. Will be great to see a pullback to this level, but then price action pullback all the way up there. You definitely want to wait for your confirmations as far as candles and price action setups before getting in, because depending on how it gets back to this level, we definitely could manipulate above, break above, continue higher, or just manipulate, come back into this structure and then drop. So keep your eye out for that. Pay attention to the price action and the candles that or setups that price action is giving you. From my little notes that I took down while I was marking this up, we can look like it's about to swamp to the downside. Weekly has already pushed past the 50% retest level. The daily has last man standard resistance around 72,300 to 72,350, which is this level down here. You can see a little bit better. This level down here, while I got continuation sales below. 1 hour price action and complete downtrend, possible retest level for shorts around 72,700. So with that statement, what I'll be looking for is price action possibly come down, find some type of resistance, if not all the way down, back down to the 72,300, 350 level, and then retest this zone / level at 72,700. So yeah, 40 pip range, 102 pip range. Definitely got time to get in and catch us some percentages on AU. Jumping over to CAD JPY. I didn't really like CAD JPY structure this week. I feel like this right here is somewhat in the middle. Not really there is a level here, but looking left and then just looking at how this price actually formulated, it doesn't look like a strong enough level to potentially give us this bounce like we got back in over here. And when you go to the higher time frames and open up the chart a little bit, you don't necessarily see anything looking left that would have gave you the indication that price action was going to do this, unless this is a fib level. Find out. Yeah, so I mean, the only way you potentially been catching buys from over here with this little move right here is you either had this channel and you were chasing the channel, or you kind of had a fib level and you just took it off the strength that that 50% was going to be enough support to push price action back higher. Which I mean, it possibly was. You know, with that long wick right there, you potentially could have been stopped out. That is a 30 pip wick, so CAD JPY potentially I could have had 30 pip stop, but not necessarily what I'm looking with my trading plan to capture. I would more or less want as much of this downside as I could, jumping over to the 30-minute, even the 15-minute. Yeah, so seeing this price action come down and then seeing how we got a big impulse here, price action starting to slow down here, it would have been something to kind of alert my eyes and say, okay, well, I do see price still dropping, but it's not as strong as it was back here. So let's see potentially, if a channel is in play or if we get a big bullish impulse, close above, breaking structure, looking left. So you kind of did get that here. I still wouldn't have been too confident seeing this candle here just because it didn't close above anything looking left. After this retest and then a big impulse move, definitely probably been looking for a retest move to get in, seeing that this bullish momentum is continuing to the upside all the way back to the top of that channel. So definitely just looking to see how price action opens up here. We break through this level, we expect this level push back to the 50% of that channel, then crash, or just seeing how price action play out there. From the notes, we got weekly bearish with a weekly wick fill. Let's see if we can find that wick fill. Yeah, JPY. Okay, so wick fill way down here at 84,666. Current price action is 86.053. So that price action just melting, keep melting. It possibly could be another week or two, not even if not three, before we get way back there. Looking at this move way over here, just to measure that, it took us 9 bars, 3 days, and 12 hours. So potentially, next week, if next week price action comes out, pull back, and is just extremely bearish, we could make it back down there, or make it down to the field this week by the end of this week coming up. But I wouldn't count on it simply because just looking at some of these previous price action impulse moves is not as big as this one back in over here. And 9 times out of 10, this is probably gonna be a news influence move over here, where this is probably CAD JPY's normal price action. I don't trade CAD JPY as often as I used to, enough to know what happened here and back over here and back over here, but you can definitely see that these candle ranges are much smaller than these ones back in and over here. So what I want to see or looking for daily 4H channeling downward towards the resistance. This one here or that one there. Because price action is kind of in the middle of nowhere, wait to see what price action gives. So wait to see you get a 50% retracement at this level, retracement to this halfway point on this channel, or retest all the way back to where it broke out from, and then see if price action gives you a setup to potentially crash down some more. As we can see, we had this big impulse with price action stopping here, so we are somewhat in that same area / zone. We definitely just want to keep an eye out and see how price action acts up in that area, because we could just be coming down to close off that wick and then potentially push back higher. I don't see any bullish. Well, I guess if you're looking way back here, but right now there's nothing very bullish to say, okay, we definitely need to set up and wait for the reversal and wait for the buys. There's no indication of that on these charts currently. So unless, like I say, you're looking for a 50% move or a 50% retracement of this big move way back here from starting in August all the way through September 3rd. So looking over at UJ, I saw a lot when I came to UJ this week. Kind of just opened up my mind to this chart and just kind of labeled up everything that I saw. Looking at this way back on over here, I got a weekly wick fill. And to me, I identified this as the untested demand zone. This is demand zone because of price action, how it reacted from that level. And then there is no retest coming all the way back down that level just yet. So I still feel like UJ has some bearishness it needs to push out before creating new highs, which could cause DJ to follow and continue to drop, which is what we're kind of looking for over there. So um, as we zoom in to the smaller time frames, I kind of explain everything and walk through it. So what I saw first was definitely the untested demand zone back in over here. Last week's price action opened up bullish, gave you a weekly high, and then just crashed. Um, Once we crashed, we came back down and grabbed liquidity from this demand zone, which is basically what I have outlined right here. Grabbed liquidity from this demand zone, but did not create new highs. And that is really important when you analyze a chart and say that price pushed into a demand zone, it didn't give you a new high, or a supply zone didn't give you a new low. That's really important to say that there probably wasn't enough orders down here in these levels to give you that continuation bullish momentum that you want to look for. So like I said, I got that marked out. And then what I saw from that liquidity grab was we did break structure, looking left, pushing up. But like I said, did not give you a new high. So looking at last week's weekly high, this could potentially be last week's weekly lower high to go down and give you that lower low. Could potentially come down and grab that wick fill. I do have that the market is stepping up based off of midweek of last week's price action. And then I took it a step further to say, okay, well, this kind of looks like an inverted head and shoulders that just haven't played out yet. And you see this here's left shoulder to head, potential right shoulder forming somewhere over in this level here. And once I started to identify those type things, I kind of started to zoom in a little bit more. I saw, potential channel being created right up in current price action. So what I would look for, let's zoom this in a little bit more, as far as looking at set up and analyze and get ready for a trade. What I want to see is price action, kind of open up, break through this lower time frame resistance level, retest that level, come back down to this level, and then potentially come back to where we broke out from and then initiate a trade from there. Looking at short back into the higher time frames, lower high / resistance level, and then potentially take buys from that level. I don't have these orders placed in already, but for me, when I come back to look at the charts, I want to see what I was thinking when I was analyzing and what potential moves or where I was looking to get in from while I was analyzing. So let me see what his fifth is. Okay, yeah. So what I had here was this big impulse move to the top side. 50% of that level is right up in here, so that's why I had targets to that level there. And that's why I also had buys, pushing back up to retest these levels that we previously broke from up here, which would then come into play within our head and shoulders, as you can see this outline here. Overall, still stuck into consolidation. When you look at your higher time frames, all this, when you blank the chart, is consolidation, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. And then we finally broke out, but then we broke right back in. And usually when you see that and we didn't create new highs or break out to the top side, we probably coming back down to break through these lows. Notes that I had, take two notes that I jotted down while I was analyzing this earlier. There's more than two possible scenarios. Wait to see if price action pull back to find support around the 50% level, then push for new highs. So then you can see that. This move push this impulse up this way. 50% is back down on this level around 109,650. Back to find support around 50% level at the 109,650 area, and then push to make new highs back up this way. Or the current high created as a possible lower high, which is this one up here, on a higher time frame to push the market lower. So my two possible scenarios for UJ, with the dollar being bullish, I don't know how well that's going to work out for UJ. because obviously those two pairs are definitely correlated. So with the dollar consistently being bullish, we could definitely possibly see this retest back down in here. I don't know how far it would drop with the dollar being bullish, but these are my plans and analysis for UJ, and I'll just wait to see how they play out. Last one I had marked up was UCAD. Here, we do have a weekly wick fill right up at 0.294 level. Currently, last week's price action. Let me see where we at. 12. Price action opened up here. It opened up bearish. Came back to give you equal highs with a higher low. No new high still, but still a high low. Then we finally broke out. So with this move here, I'd be looking for 50% retracement as well, or just a retest of the level that the structure that we finally broke out of. Since price action didn't stall out against any structural, looking left on the smaller time frames, I got this little purple reaction zone marked up based off of a structure that I saw, like I said, in the lower time frames. And with the Fed play from this downward movement all the way down to this this high, all the way down to the low, the 50% has already been crossed. So 9 times out of 10, you see a retest of that 50 and then come back up and retest some of the untested levels back in the highs. So those are my charts for the week. Those are my analysis. I got all of these dropped on my social medias, definitely on Twitter, if not anything. And then also my Telegram group. Like I always say, if you want to reach out, trade together, text, ask questions. I know I do that every time. These are all my social media tags. Definitely just message me, drop some comments, things you would like to see, things that need more further explanation, things that aren't as clear, just probably because of the way I mark up. I've been doing this for a while now, so I see a lot of different setups, a lot of different potential opportunities in the market. And then when I'm marking up on the weekends, I try to mark all of those up and then just see what plays out. I know a lot of people like to keep their charts naked and not have a lot of drawings on them, but I feel like the more of an edge I can have over the market as far as what I'm expecting or what I'm looking for, once I come back to my charts, will definitely give me that edge to always end up in profits and always end up in an area of confidence that lets me know that, you know, hey, I'm looking at these markets correctly. I am analyzing correctly, and I just need to continue consistently on what I'm doing. But anyways, I'm going back to watch the game. Go Bears. Welcome to the U.